You got the same color shirt on this.
All kind for real.
Great minds. Hey, make sure we on, bro. Go to the page, make sure we. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Yeah. All right, shalom, shalom. We want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kadash.
When they're saying double honor to the apostles and the bishop elders, a great millstone for teaching the word of truth and sincerity. Salutations to the elect. I'm gonna jump right into it. Give me Ezekiel 38 and 1. There's a lot happening right now. Today is June 14th, the 250th year of the United States Army. Donald J. Trump had a parade. It's probably still going on right now, or just wrapping up. They got a little celebration going on with that. You got the state of Israel and Iran attacking one another with missiles. For some odd reason, Netanyahu took it upon himself to attack the nuclear capabilities and locations of the state of the country of Iran, a sovereign nation. Right now, if this thing gonna boil over to a third world war, we're gonna see. What the state of Israel been at war for the last 2 years. Well, they've been at constant war, but a lot of these wars, they stoking themselves, man. They starting themselves. They went over there into Iran and messed up them people, fucked up the people of Gaza. They still destroying them. That's still a so-called humanitarian crisis going on. On top of that, you had supposedly nationwide protests called No Kings, right? Basically against Donald Trump and his authoritarian style that he's ruling in, which is basically he's ruling like a monarch, right? But he's the last. He is the king of Babylon, right? He is the current king of Babylon, right? It was spiritual that they didn't put that East Indian in office as the head of Babylon, right? Even though it could have been queen of Babylon, but it's the king of Babylon is prophesied in the scriptures, man.
That's right.
Okay. And this is going to usher in the Third World War, Lord willing, and it's all good for us. It's all bad for them. See, we don't have to get in. We don't have to throw ourselves into the midst of any of this. We ain't out there protesting. We ain't out there trying to join nobody's military and fight nobody's wars, because that ain't got nothing to do with us. It's Edom against Edom. Real quick before you get Ezekiel 38, I would set Egyptian against Egyptian. Baba Bouchard.
The scriptures say we're just watching. We're watching for prophecy to be fulfilled, man. This is the book of Isaiah 19 and verse 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom."
And you see that going on. Like you see, and it's mainly Edomite against Edomite, Democrat against Republican, conservative against religion, conservative against liberal, Russian against American. Right? That's what. There's a lot of division in this country, and amongst Esau's kingdom, period. Because them Israelis over there in the state of Israel, they're not in support of that Benjamin Netanyahu, not a Jew, like that. So in order for him to stay in office and to keep the people off his ass, he's keeping them in a constant state of war. Right? Now they blowing up, bombing Tel Aviv. They had to cancel that pride parade, which is spiritual. I'm glad. That's why the biggest homosexual parade on the planet Earth is held in Tel Aviv every year. And they had to cancel it this year because of what? Because of the so-called war that's going on. Right? And pride is evil anyway in the sight of the Most High. Okay? Let's go to Ezekiel 38.
This is Ezekiel 38 and verse 1, it says prophecy about God and the future invasion of Israel.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen. Because, like, people don't realize that. Russia going to invade Israel before they invade America. And then what's going to bring America into the war? Because Russia's in there now. And why is Russia going to invade the state of Israel? Because Iran is one of their allies and that they're a guard over. Let's keep on.
So it says, verse 1, and the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them.
Yeah, because we ain't prophesying for you, you Russians. You ain't going to win. You're going to lose right along with America. Except that the Lord's going to use you to do a great damage into America with your nuclear missile, along with your allies, and even America's allies. Right? Because they're going to turn on America. What Trump is doing right now, he's isolating America in more ways than one. And eventually they're going to say, you know what, it's only 300 plus billion of them people. It's hundreds of millions of us. Fuck them. Blast that ass, man.
That's right.
That's how it's going to go down. And on top of that, it's going to be a third world war, which is going to tax every nation. It's going to affect every nation on Earth. None of these nations going to stand up. Any of these nations going to be doing super good when a war is going on. They claim war is good for business, but in this case, it's bad for Edomite business.
Verse 3, and say, thus saith Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws.
What does that mean? In the 1990s, the USSR, it fell. The USSR was empowered, was strong from World War II all the way up into the 90s. That was like almost 50 years, right? They were doing good. They were making money hand over fist. They were creating all these. There was all this oligarchy shit going on over there, mad corruption, and then eventually it collapsed. The USSR collapsed, and then under this dude, what's his name? Oh God, Putin. Yeah, the water, brother. Putin. They started gaining their preeminence back again, and their strength, working on their military, working on their relationships with other nations. Right? They still an oligarch. They still getting paid. They still corrupt. But now they're strong again. And that's why nobody wants to mess with Russia. That's why America hasn't ran into Iran. The state of Israel is just a proxy army for America. The state of Israel is nothing more than an Edomite, secular, Zionist state set up in the Middle East, right? To have some type of control over there. And they're well funded, like Trump said last week. They're extremely well funded. They're they're well armed. How is that? Because America feeds them, right? And it's a pet project of the Rothschild family. So they're gonna be straight. They got all the technology that they need. They got all of the weapons they need to go to war with them. So America's gonna be drugged into the war with America. The scripture says what? The least of the flock shall draw them out. Who is the least of the flock? Amalek. It's that small Edomite state. And they're gonna draw who out? It's gonna draw America out into this third world war. And America's been at war since its inception as a country, right? Over 228 years. This motherfucker been at war. They said America only has been at total peace, supposedly, between 17 and 20 years, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. And because it's nothing but a big ass war machine, bro. That's all.
That's right. And all of America's allies, man, you know, you're gonna get dragged into war too, man. You know, because Esau, you know, he'll so-called give you protection through their military and their so-called democracy, but when they need bodies, guess what? You gotta fucking send troops, man.
That's what NATO's all about.
Yeah. So all these other countries, you know, these smaller countries in South America, Central America, Europe, you're gonna have to send bodies to that war, man.
Everybody's going to war. This is gonna be a great war. It's gonna be way better, way bigger way more devastating than both World War I and II combined.
That's right.
Billions of people are going to die. If you don't die in a war, you're going to die from famine. Because ain't going to be no trade going on like that. It's going to be highly restricted. Everything's going to be on a ration system. You know, you motherfuckers like to go eat. You want to go eat piles and piles of food. America's known for that. Well, in that time, you ain't going to be able to do that. They were rationing in World War I, they were rationing in World War II, and they damn sure going to ration in World War III. Right. And they're going to keep you on that. They plan to keep the world on a ration system, too. There's going to be a digital system. The RFID microchip is going to be questioned. That's why, like, we're excited. This is an exciting time to be alive. But at the same time, prophecy still must be fulfilled, man. And that MOCB got to come out. It got to. It's a major part. It's a major plot twist in the movie.
Ezekiel 38 and verse 4. And I will put thee back, Salaki, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sort of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handling swords.
Yeah, and modern day swords is these weapons, these guns, these machine guns, missiles, drones, all that shit. Go ahead.
That's right. You know what? All the things that they were, parading today.
Yeah.
Trump was parading. All these countries do the same thing. North Korea, China, Russia. They be having, flexing on each other, man.
Yep. And they showed just a little bit of their war might.
Yeah.
And on top of that, these army military troops parading in the streets is also indicative of martial law. Because the army got way more shit than that. They brought a bunch of old shit, throwback shit, right? They ain't show no futuristic shit that they got, right? They did all that shit because that's what gets you used to seeing troops on the streets, man. And who gonna want to fight? Who gonna want to fight in a war when they fucking everybody up? I don't know how they gonna get this. I don't know how they gonna get the draft going, man. They must go and sign a bunch of jakes that they done threw in them prisons and say, hey, look, you don't want to go back to your country? All right, you got to be part of the war effort, man. We need bodies.
They did that shit a couple of years back.
Yeah,
They were offering the Northern Kingdom citizenship if you join the army.
Yeah.
Well, residency. Yep. So.
They're like, nah. Some probably did. I don't know. But a lot of people didn't take that shit. They want to live here, but they don't want to fight to be here. Absolutely not. They want to make money, right? And military soldiers, military members, period, they don't make no real money unless you all the way up on the top, like a general or some shit, a colonel, maybe like a colonel or some shit like that. Then you making a decent wage, man, with all the extras. What you talking about? You going there as an E1, E4, E5, E6, E7. They still make a little bit of chicken. It really ain't nothing crazy, right? And then you gotta put up with the bullshit. I gotta risk my life. I said I can't see my family, can't leave when I want to. I speak another language.
You can't quit.
You can't quit. Oh, hell no. You can't quit. You gotta get put out. And then if you get put out, now your residency and all that other shit is hanging in the balance. And even if you do it, your shit's still hanging in the balance, man. Damn. Water, brother. Okay? But the war is gonna come. Hey, hold that. Get what is it? Revelation 11 and 14. No, I think it's 11 and 14. One war is past. Behold, the second war is past, and behold, the third war coming quickly. This war is coming quickly. We ain't gonna be fighting in that shit. Fuck that. Fuck that. I have never fighting America again. I learned my lesson. You gotta fool me twice.
This is Revelation 11 and verse 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's going. That's what's about to happen. This third world war. It ain't gonna be. You ain't gonna be down there fighting for 3 or 4 or 5 years like the rest of the previous one. Absolutely not, man. This shit gonna happen quick. Because by the time that happened, you can best believe a majority, if not all, military service men and women, you're gonna be taking that shit. You're gonna have to. That's gonna be the new way to buying and selling. It's an RFID microchip. You're gonna be chipped up. You're gonna be out there in that desert fighting like a motherfucker in that sand, and then Yahushua is coming. You're gonna stop fighting each other. Y'all gonna stop fighting each other and turn around and try to fight him, and you're gonna fucking lose. Man. The Lord's bringing. Give me a. Oh, yes, get out Joel chapter 3 verse 1. The Lord's bringing gathering these armies into the Middle East for judgment. Judgment. All the nations. What's that? We reading about Gog and Magog. They gonna be there, but they gonna be there big time, right? And they gonna stay there. Them bodies gonna stay there, hating God. That's what it's gonna be called, man.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, "For behold, in those days." Joel 3 and 1. "For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahushua and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel."
Yeah, the word Yahushua is how to judge you. And the Lord said he's gonna plead with you and he's gonna judge you for what you've done to his people. To inherit the word.
"And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered amongst the nations and parted my land."
And that's what these nations have done, particularly the nation of Edom. You got the nation of Edom in America, you got the nation of Edom in Russia. Right? But the Edomites, what they do, they scattered us across the earth. And did what? They took our land, they parted our land. Now you got Arabs fighting over it, Edomites fighting over it, like it belonged to them. They going back and forth, oh, this land belongs to us for 3,000 years. It's ours, it's always been ours. These Arabs, they're here encroaching on our land. And we don't want them here in our land. Right? So they're fighting it like a motherfucker over there. Yeah, but the land don't belong to neither one of them nations. It belongs to us, the true Israelites, the people that you see on this side right here. So-called Black, Hispanics, Native Americans, simple things.
Right. How fast would World War III end if the U.S. and Russia were involved?
Well, that's the only way it's going to be a World War. Because the World War,
it says, check this out, it says,
hold on,
okay,
go ahead, brother.
so I put, how fast would World War III end if the U.S. and Russia are involved? It says, if the U.S. and Russia were both fully involved in World War III scenario, especially with their nuclear arsenals, the conflict would be over very quickly,
Yep.
but at an unimaginable catastrophic cost.
Yeah, because America is going to be destroyed. Parts of Russia are going to be destroyed. The state of Israel is going to be destroyed. Okay? A lot of death is going to be happening, man. And it's going to be irreparable damage. You can't repair that damage that's about to happen. You can't compare that. You can't repair that. Yahweh Shai is going to repair it because we're going to go home. We're going back to our land. Right? The only land that's not going to be inhabited is the land of America. Read it again.
It says, if the U.S. and Russia were both fully involved in the World War III scenario, especially with their nuclear arsenal, the conflict would be over very quickly,
Yeah.
but at an unimaginably catastrophic cost. And then it says the two scenarios, and it says conventional war, months to years, which we know that that's not going to happen, because if there's a World War III, they're going to use the nuclear capability.
Well, months is cool. Months is
Nah.
cool.
But then it says
Ain't
also
gonna be no years though. Fuck that.
nuclear exchange, hours to days. So it says duration, hours to a few days. Outcome, near instant devastation of major cities, military installations, and infrastructure. Casualties, hundreds of millions dead in the first hour. More from fallout, starvation, and disease.
Did we just say that? All that's written in the script. It said when you read second Ezra 16, it tells you that what 16 21 there is that remain on the earth are going to be many that dwell on the earth shall die of famine. Those that the famine don't kill, the sword don't kill. Right? Because of that.
Also say, within an hour, Babylon the Great will be destroyed, man.
That's what? 1 hour is going to take GMSHAWAII 1 hour to destroy America, man. Because he's coming with the nuclear missiles and the chariots of Israel, bro. The holy angels, bro. It took 250 years to establish the grip of America on the earth. 250. And that's just talking about when America became recognized as a nation, a country, right? Because you ain't talking about what that was 1776. They claim the first slaves really came over here and bought in 1619. And you can really start with the Spaniards in 1526. All right. So man, in all that time, it took all that time for America to be established. So let's go move from the 1776 all the way up to 2026, man. That's 250 years, man. That's a long time. And countless lives, countless Israelite lives were lost in establishing that. And we still holding this place together. And in 1 hour, this place is going to be eviscerated, man. Like it never was, man.
Right?
I did a video earlier, Elder Amwar Bart sent a video to me earlier this morning. It was Jake saw a chariot in South Carolina, man. Abeville, no, brother, that shit wasn't no, I don't think it was no project, man. I think it was real, right? It was super real. It was just sitting there floating. It had a blue tractor beam just shooting at the ground, man. And I'm like, oh my God, look, y'all, it's a UFO for real, y'all. That was the lady said, the girl said, she's like, bitch, it's a UFO. I'm about to use a knife on the sky to realize. I'm like, bitch, she pointed at the sky and shit. They running outside with their cameras like this and shit. But that's a sign of our coming, of our redemption is drawing nigh, bro.
Right for your redemption draws nigh.
That's right, man. When these things come to pass.
Everybody looking for an escape or something carnal to happen. These people got to come up with a plan so that we could live at peace and coexist.
You got to get the money, chase the bag.
Yeah, but in reality, our salvation, the only hope is coming from above, man. Through Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
It's not coming from no other nation. These other nations, they're not coming with us. Don't even think about it. Even the ones that look like the other nations, those are Israelites. Okay? But salvation is coming to us. Jake don't want it. Like the brother said, you try to get this carnal means. You want the money, you want to try to get them, come up with some world peace. There's never going to be peace on this earth so long as Esau's at the helm.
Especially for Jake.
Especially for us, bro. There's never going to be ain't no peace now. Look at what's going on now. They love to talk about that technology and how forward thinking they are, but y'all still in the same mindset, bro. Right? Y'all destroying the earth, y'all destroying the Lord's people. How can it ever get peace? Matter of fact, give me Revelation 6:4-5. But it ain't too much shade around here, bro.
Revelation 6, chapter
6.
Revelation 6, verse 4, it says, and there went out another horse that was red, And the power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
And that's the verse. Was that 4, right? Come on, man. Read it again.
Revelation 6 and verse 4, it says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
So that's what Esau's job is, to take peace from the earth. Even though he tries to formulate peace through his mischief and his so-called policies, that shit ain't gonna happen. It's never gonna be no peace because it was given to Esau. I'm sorry. Can you read verse 3?
Verse 3, Revelation 6 and 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red.
Right, that's the one I wanted to focus on. That red Edomite horse, right? Which represents the Roman Empire all over again. That's that beast, that red beast, that 7-headed beast, right? And it was given to him to what? To take what? Peace from the earth, man. Since this man been in rulership, every time he come in rulership, there ain't been no peace, man. Even in his own kingdom. They claim they had 17 to 20 years of peace. I don't even know when that was because we would catch as hell. You know what I'm saying? We have never experienced peace in this captivity. And it was given to Esau to take peace from the earth. So how can this man bring peace, man? They claim that they're the purveyors of freedom and peace. But what kind of freedom they're bringing? Freedom to worship idols, freedom to destroy yourselves, freedom commit sexual immorality, freedom commit whoredom, wickedness, evil, murder, death, kill. Right?
Freedom to the wicked, but not the just.
Not the just or the righteous, man.
Right, and NLT it says, then another horse appeared, a red one. Its rider was given a mighty sword and the authority to take peace from the earth. And there was war and slaughter everywhere.
Let's move over there, bro. Where? Right there, where the 2 logs are at.
Oh, by the...
Yeah. Fuck, right here. No, it's the... Oh, yeah, we can move over there.
Revelation 6 and I just read 6 and 4 and 19. It says, then another horse appeared, a red one. Its rider was given a mighty sword and the authority to take peace from the earth.
And that's what Esau has. He has the authority to take peace from the earth. So even when he say he's going to be peace, he's going to be no peace. There's nothing security. That's what it says. And he said, peace and safety is what sudden destruction is.
It says, and there was war and slaughter everywhere. That's what's going on now, man. You see Esau, like we just mentioned, Babylon the Great has been a war machine for Esau, man. And he's used the military might to what? To gain control over the entire world, pretty much, man.
I mean, if he not using that military, he's framing laws to further destroy. He's framing missions by law. And this man is corrupt, bro. Right? You see this dude in the suit and the tie, you think, oh, he's so refined and civilized. No, he's not. He's a fucking monster, bro. Right? He's a war animal. He's a beast.
1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 3. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travailed upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
And he's not going to escape the destruction. These nuclear missiles, they're going to go, right? Trump might survive with his cabinet, some of his closest cabinet members and family, but he's only going to survive to go into captivity. He's not even a super elite, right? And they know what's coming before it happens, right? They know that when this war pop off, man, it's gonna be devastating, man. It's gonna go fast, quick, and in a hurry, man. People want to get high, real quick, real fast. It's just yeah, man.
Back in Revelation. Oh yeah, Revelation. Yeah, that was it. Ezekiel 38 and verse. I start from the top again. Ezekiel 38 and verse 1. And the word of Yahweh by GMSHAWAII came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them.
That's what we doing. We're prophesying against them. We're not prophesying for this place. You don't hear these other people like here doing that. They're not prophesying against them. They're trying to teach how to live in this world, right? How to be a part of this world. It's like this. Right? But America's going to be destroyed, man. It has to be destroyed, bro. You shouldn't be trying to plant no roots in this place, man. Because this place is about to be rooted up.
Well, you know, as life here on earth, man, it's all gonna be done away with, man. There's still gonna be places that are gonna be standing after the devastation of the war, and after our Lord and Savior comes and destroys, the major Edomite cities. But everything's gonna be restarted, man. You ain't gonna see no buildings nowhere, these skyscrapers, none of the things that you think of as life. They're not gonna stand it, man. It's gonna be a reset, a complete reset in the creation.
That's right.
So you're gonna have to change your mindset. That's why the scriptures say that what? The same one's knowing after death by pain. That's that reset, man.
Yeah, because the Lord did a reset before with water.
That's right.
Right? Give me 2 Peter chapter 3. 2 Peter 3? I always get it mixed up, so it's a lot here. It's either 1 Peter 3 or 2 Peter 3. Right? He talks about the first world being overcome by water. Right? But this world, this is the same planet. It didn't go nowhere. The earth didn't drown, right? Itself. No. The Lord flooded the earth with water. Right? That was the great reset. That was the first great reset. Now the second great reset, the Lord's about to do it with fire.
It's 2 Peter 3 and verse 6. Well, actually, I'll start at verse 5. It says, for this they willingly are ignorant of.
Oh, you start at the top.
1 Peter 3 and verse 1. This second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you, in both which I stir up your pure minds by the way of remembrance.
Yeah, because this word has always been in us. And this word has stirred up our pure mind. Right? What is our impure mind? Us living with the lust of the flesh. Right? That's our impure mind. But our spiritual mind, that's really in it. And we all Israelites got it. But some are just living more toward their flesh and others toward their spirit.
Verse 2, that ye may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets and by the commandments of us, the apostles of our Lord and Savior, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming?
And you see that going on today, especially amongst our people. Right? You got all these jakes. Everybody got a cell phone now, so anybody can just do a video whenever a demon hop on them, or several demons hop on them, and they just start speaking against the truth, and speaking against the men of the Lord. Right? Talking about Oh man, y'all been saying this forever. We still here. What about the Egyptians and all this other bullshit? Right? You just come up against it, man. Scoffing. You just walking after your own lust, your own heart. You got women jumping out of the window talking crazy, men jumping out of the window talking crazy. Right? Speaking against this truth, man. Right? You constantly want to endure with the white man. I just want to be white man. Who really is the white man? And all this other shit. Right? Because you niggas love this place, man. Right? You want to see America thrive and continue to go on. Meanwhile, you starving, can't pay your rent, fucked up, your car is getting repossessed. Right? You fucking losing your jobs left and right. Somehow, some way, you just think that America just gonna turn a corner and it's gonna be all good again. It's not.
It says,
And you don't fear speaking against Yahweh and his men.
it says, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation.
And that's cap. That's cap, because the whole world was flooded, bro. Look at this place, man. Sediment rock all the way on big ass mountains like Mount Everest and shit. Fossilized fish all the way up on top of mountains that no man is climbing. Ain't nobody chipped that in there. All the water and the friction, lands fell to the bottom of the sea. Right? New lands came up. Hey, we live on a big ass mountain range right now. An underwater mountain range. Like these tops of the mountains that y'all don't see it. But if you could see it, these tops of the mountains that we see right here, behind us and shit, deep down in the ocean, man, it's mad fucking, it's huge. It's like living on top of Mount Everest, bro, without the snow. For real, man. So y'all don't know that. Y'all just think that, it's just how it always been. We've been playing baseball, basketball, football, right? What is it called? Soccer, football, which is not the real football. Right? We just been being entertained over and over again. We just got cars, driving buggies, the horses. We just kept going and going and going. It's always been the same. No, it's not. It has not. Go ahead.
It says, for this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of the Most High the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished.
It perished. Right? Why did the Lord destroy the world, that known world back then? Because of all the wickedness and evil, violence, corruption, immorality, sexual immorality. The same shit that's happening today. The same behavior that predated the flood is predating the fire. Right?
It says the wickedness has gotten worse.
Oh man.
The cleansing has to be that much stronger, which is the fire, man. You can clean some dirt off of certain things, but when it's on there, you might as well just burn that shit up,
Yeah, you
man.
gotta burn it up.
Restart.
It's a great reset happening, man. And it's not going to be ushered in by the Edomites. The Edomites are not in charge of that reset. Yahweh Shah is in charge of that reset. That's why 2/3 of our people, they're going to die on this side here in America. And they're going to have to know this truth that we're telling you right now after what? After death by pain. You're going to know all these things are true. You're going to know the name of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son is Yahweh Shah. You're going to know that we are the Israelites. You're going to know that we were the men of the Lord. Lord willing, we endure to the end. You're going to know that everything that we ain't lied about nothing. Bro, this got to be the most truthful and honest that we've ever been in our lives, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, brother? We don't come out here and lie about none of this stuff, bro. Everything is true, and we back it up with scriptures, bro. It ain't our fault you can't receive it, don't want to receive it. But it's the truth. All this stuff is happening. Right? The martial law, the RFID microchip, it's here, but it's going to be pushed on to the people mandatorily. This is what they want.
Right.
Even their own people talked about it. What's that man? Alex Jones. What's the other guys that the apostles put us on? Alex Jones. They did the joint Millennium 2000. I forget these niggas' names, man. Jordan Maxwell. A lot of people come out and talk about it, bro. Tim Cook. All these people, they come out and talk about it, but when we talk about it, it's far-fetched. You listen to a nigga named, it's June. Ain't no microchips. It's June. Like, a nigga like that. That nigga, he straight changed his doctrine whenever the wind blows. Right? He just talking. He don't even back it up with facts. They use chips and animals, so I guess your cat's gonna buy you some land. Right? They tracking them animals. That's what all they gotta do is, it don't matter. If you lose, we both got dogs. Right? If our dogs get loose and they run away, somebody get it, they gotta they'll watch that chip, they gonna know who the owner is. Who the original owner is, where the owner of the dog, and the address. Hey, but you got your dog. Come get it. You know what I'm saying? Tracking devices. Dogs don't need to buy nothing, but we do. Buying and selling is the way. Buying and selling is the way that we live our lives on a daily basis. Right? You can't. You think when you pay your rent, you're buying 30 more days to stay in that dwelling, that habitation. Right? When you pay that car note, you buying 30 more days to drive around in this car. Right? When you go to buy food. You know what I'm saying? You gotta buy and sell everything. That's how we live our lives. None of us, unless you are homeless, right? On the street, a derelict or indigent, a person that's indigent, right? But even they gotta buy shit. Even they gotta buy stuff.
It says, whereby the world.
Yeah, Anthony J. Hill, Terry Cook, Tim Cook. Terry Cook, the water brother. Terry Cook and Anthony J. Hill. A lot of them guys are dead now. But they were telling you about that, especially Terry Cook. I don't know if I shared that video with you. I was watching it maybe last month. It's really good, man. It's really, really, really good, bro. Terry Cook was telling it all. He was letting the beans spill, bro, about the MOTV, man. And they thought that it was going to happen in the year 2000. The Terry Cook documentary. It's on YouTube. I can go through my history. But he was being interviewed. He was bringing it all out, man. Telling you about what's going to happen. He had the whole thing about how they was going to be using these like handheld scanners, right, to scan your chips, man. And that you ain't going to put any. They even said it was on the RFID chip a long time ago to be. It should have been here. I think it was like by 2007 that they wanted to be here, and it didn't happen. Right?
It says, back in 2 Peter 3 and verse 6.
I wouldn't even get a list. I'm not sure, but you got it.
I thought it was in the chat, but I didn't see it. It says, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished, but the same heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men.
The perdition means destruction of ungodly men. Right? And Esau, he's the son of perdition. He's the Superman of ungodliness, man. You got ungodly men of our people. Right? And they're being kept alive for the day of destruction. All these niggas that you envy in this society, all these sellout niggas, whether they politicians, musicians, athletes, artists, whatever, cooks, dancers, all these niggas are sold the fuck out, man. I was watching something. That nigga threw up the first Charles Barkley. He's an analyst. He don't even play ball no more. But yet he still threw up that Vesica Pisces, man, like Trump. When Diddy first went to his trial started, they had the nigga in a sweater, and you can't see the live image. They had to draw a picture of it. This nigga had the Vesica Pisces going on, man. He threw that up. Bill Cosby did the same shit in his fucking mugshot photo, bro. He threw that bitch up quick because he's an insider, right? All these people that you envy and you idolize, they're nothing more than sellouts, man. They've been sold to give you a lie, and it ain't just other so-called Negro persuasion, even Latinos, man. He ain't no Latino, but I pointed to the brother because he looked like a so-called Latino. He's an Israelite. The point of the matter is, even amongst the Northern Kingdom, they do the same thing. Daddy Yankee, I used to do this shit all the time. Don Omar, all them niggas that all niggas that's tapped in with Esau. They have you thinking that everything's gonna be okay when it's not. Absolutely not, man. They all know that what we're saying is true, man. The only thing is that they're not putting it on blast right now because they're gonna wait till they try to person.
Jake in the world, they really don't have faith, man. Because they've seen the power that's been given to Esau, man, to do pretty much whatever he wants, man. When you're at the bottom and somebody shows you the power that they have, especially Esau, man. These giants of industry, man, they'll tell you like, yeah, look, we could do this, we could do that. These politicians, these lawyers, all these people, man. I have a cousin that's down in South America, and now this motherfucker got mad influence and shit, bro. And my family thinks that, oh, this dude is like the best thing that happened to our family. But how you fucking get there? Through wickedness, man.
Corruption. Politics is right with corruption, bro.
Hell yeah.
You can't make it. You can't make it a certain point in this society without doing wickedness, man.
That's right.
You have to. You just can't tell nobody about it. And then they make it look like you just work. You got there through hard work and dedication, and that's so far from the truth. You think Floyd Mayweather is the only good boxer? This boxer is better than this nigga, man. But they ain't made it to that point because they ain't sacrificed this dude did. They ain't going to those dark rooms and bend down and suck an Edomite rod and bend over and take an Edomite rod in the booty hole, or eat some blood or semen mixed together, right? Or what they call that shit, blood cooking. They ain't get to do that. They ain't make it that far. The nigga might have made it to 1 or 2 parties. Because that's how they get you. They get you at the party. And they'll see how you react to certain shit. If you come back, you're like, oh, no, I did. All right.
They're trying to see how
willing you are to do the worst. Like I always told this dude, they used to work with me back in the day. Like, look, bro, you want to become famous and because he used to tell me that, yeah, I want to be artist, literally going somewhere into Hollywood and telling like these people that, I'm ready to sacrifice me to you. And then they'll take you serious more than if you just pop up like, oh, listen to my album. Like, they don't give a fuck about your album.
Even if you're too eager, they won't take you. If you niggas are too eager, they ain't gonna fuck with you, man. You niggas just gonna go back into obscurity, man.
Yeah.
You gotta really tap into worship Satan. Every time you hear these musicians and people, politicians, I like to thank God. They're not talking about GMSHAWAII, bro. They're talking about Satan. Because they know that God is not the name of the Heavenly Father. And Jesus is not the name of his only begotten Son. Right? Them niggas, they worship Satan on the left-hand side. And really they worship the white man. Because he the one that put them on. How you think that nigga Diddy got so famous and powerful in the music industry? How he became a giant in the music industry? It wasn't because of his talent. That nigga ain't got that much talent. He don't. Right? He had to go to them parties and do those free calls. And then when he was having his own, it was getting out of hand. And now look at this nigga. He's fucked up now. He's being exposed for the piece of shit that he is. And he ain't by himself. He ain't a one-off. It wasn't just him. He outlived his youthfulness. That's what really happened. He outlived his youthfulness, man. He got too big. That's why niggas don't know. Niggas get a couple $1 billion, you think he's somebody. You look at that nigga Jay-Z, he got 200, he got $2 billion. He's supposed to work. He don't have that. He don't have that. He can't go to the bank right now and flush out $2 billion. And good. That nigga gotta keep tap dancing. He gotta keep pouring his wife, prostituting his wife out. Beyonce. He gotta keep her going. Keep her drugged up, hopped up, right? Now they bring their children into it. They bring his girls into it, his daughters into it. Because those are the ones they want. You don't hear nothing about his son. He got a little son, he might turn up to be a fag, living in a house with all them bitches. Right? Or die early. some type of accident or something, swimming pool or
Sacrifice.
yep. And he ain't gonna die just because he was sacrificed, man. So they can keep it going. These niggas have no loyalty. They have no integrity. They have no integrity. You look at these people and you idolize these people, but you don't know the shit that these people are doing, have done, and continue to do to stay where they at.
They're the ones that are going to be pushing on the MOTV, you know, to comply, to get with the program and
That's
shit.
why they keeping them around.
Yeah, just like they did during the Criminal Royale, man.
Remember? You remember that shit?
Yeah.
They put all them old school celebrities out, man. Had them niggas on stage. This is one shot I will not block. That nigga's in the spirit world playing basketball. They ain't playing basketball, but he's in the spirit world.
They did that remix of that song.
Back that thing up.
Yeah,
Back that ass up. Hey, Juvenile! This nigga, Juvenile!
Dude.
They pulled that nigga out of him and Manny Fresh. They pulled him and Nia X. You ain't heard from these niggas ain't had a hit. This is the 90s, bro. A real hit. Just the 90s, bro. They ain't had a real hit since the 99 and the 2000. And then they just bring these niggas up, and you niggas just dancing in the video and in the commercial and shit. Oh, if you want to date somebody like you gotta make sure that they got the juice, right? I've been juiced. Have you? Girl, you look good once you max that ass up. Girl, you look good once you max that ass up. Y'all bugging, bruh. That's how you niggas dancing to the fucking grave, bruh. That's straight up. And a lot of you niggas did die.
Yeah.
A lot of you niggas did die. Oh, you on your way to death, man.
The same thing with the seer, man. You're gonna be fooled by what? By entertainment, by a promise of security, of peace, by your own people, and by the human state, man. It's to your destruction. Because all that's gonna lead to is what? You complying and you accepting to be Esau's slave, man.
Yep.
Because that's all it is. Esau wants you as a perpetual slave. And that MOTV, that all, is going to be what confirms your acceptance of
You were ordered.
yeah, of rulership over you. Esau's rulership over you, man.
Just because the elites at the top, they ain't taking that shit. They own it. They own it now. On a myriad of contracts, like birth certificate, the social security number, right? That's why they make it so hard for you to come from another system into one system to the next. They make it hard for you Jakes to leave South American system and come to America, to the North American system. Right? They make it hard as shit. Some black lady said, and they ain't just the southern, the northern kingdom, even the southern kingdom. Jake coming from these islands and other countries and shit. Africa. You come over to America, they make it hard as shit for you because your lot number is already assigned to this guy. You know, but it's all the same. They all own the elite, the super elite. And now they want to really own through the algorithm. Right? The new algorithm. You're talking about you're gonna make them people gods and all this other shit through technology. But then Noah Harari said it ain't gonna be for 99% of the people. It's gonna be only for the people that own the algorithm. Who's the owners of the algorithm? The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. Like, they don't have these things that we have to do on a daily permits. They don't need a permit to drive. They don't need a passport. They don't need a driver's license. They don't even need a social security number. When they born, they have a registry that they write the name on. That's it. That's what we used to do in the ancient world. They pick that up from Jake, and that's what they use. They don't have to. You're never gonna go down to the social security office and see a real Rothschild sitting there waiting. You know what I'm saying? Cash out. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, it's like, you know, all these people social security. That's why they have all these preachers now. I just saw something recently. In New York, what is it called? NYU, New York University. I guess it's a prominent university in New York City. They had to go back and contact millions of their graduates and their students because their social security numbers and birth dates were compromised through an act. Right? And it ain't the only time that this shit happened. So now they doing that to let you know that the old system is outdated.
Yeah, it's failing, and they need a new one.
Yeah, so that new one they're gonna bring in the RFID chip. Right? Everybody's gonna have a number. gonna have a chip, and it's run by the bankers. Like my man, Aaron Russo said, man, it's run by the bankers. If you dissent against the new system, they'll cut your chip off and you can't buy. Let's get that Revelation 13 and 16.
Right.
Because this is a real this prophecy that we started off in Ezekiel 38. We didn't get through it because the Spirit had us going through other stuff, but it's all coming together.
Yeah, because it goes hand in hand. You
Yep.
need the microchip, the micro seed to be established, and then the third woe is gonna happen. Man.
Yeah.
Because it's all Esau's plan is to what? To bring forth that seed, and obviously it's not gonna work. They can't get all the people, so what he gotta do? He gotta bring more so that people can comply, man. What is it? Damn, there's a saying that people are not gonna comply when good times are happening, but when evil times are happening, especially war, people will accept anything, man.
Anything, just like they did 5 years ago. They just accepted all that shit, and Fauci just went back into the coffin.
For real, bro.
You know, they gave this nigga pure immunity. He can't be tried or convicted on anything that happened in 2020, man. And then look, they watch all you people die. Fuck up all your immune system and shit. Gave you that juice. Hey, niggas even took the Boost Mobile after the shit. Oh, I gotta make sure I take mine, you know.
There's
I
people
don't
still
want-
taking that
Yeah,
shit, bro.
I know.
I'm like,
I
what
know.
the fuck?
Fucking they compromising themselves all the fuck up.
Right?
Then you see it now, you know, speaking concerning the CN, man. You know, Trump spoke about, you know, spending a shitload of money in the developing of AI and all that shit. What do you think that's for?
It's not so that you can have a better internet and shit. Like, no, man. It's so that they could
Develop better chips, all that shit, man.
Yeah. And it's only pushing it further, man. They only everything that's happening right now is only furthering that great agenda, man. Because that's what they want, and they know that the vast majority of the people on the earth are not going to survive it. That's why war happens. War is nothing more than a sacrifice of blood, right? They need a huge sacrifice in their mind. They need a huge sacrifice to get this thing going. It ain't enough that you Jake's killing each other. It ain't enough that these celebrities are sacrificing their bodies and their children and their family members. That ain't enough. They need more blood. What kind of? Come on, bro.
The bigger the sacrifice, the
Yeah.
bigger the reward
And
to
that,
them.
yeah. But guess who else got a great sacrifice? In Basra, Yahweh Shai. That's what America's one big altar, baby.
right.
That's what it is. And you Edomites, you gonna go. You Israelites that are down with Esau, you gonna go. Right? The Lord, that's the Lord's chip. Because he don't want all Jacob. He wants you niggas to take the chip. But that's gonna be the nail in your coffin. Right? That certificate is already signed, but that's gonna be the stamp right there. Got him. Right? Just like because you believe in Esau's system, you don't believe in Yahweh Bashim Shah. So then you gonna have to die, nigga. The Lord said what? I'm gonna send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. Right? They didn't want them to see the truth where they might be saved. Let's go to Revelation.
Revelation 13 and verse 16, it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads,
And that's a Quran. Go ahead.
and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name."
That ain't Christianity. That ain't a picture of Cesare Borgia. Nobody, that ain't sin in all its forms. You don't pay for sin, you don't pay for shit now in sin in all its forms. Try to go to Home Depot and buy some wood. Oh, what you gonna use to buy? I got sin in all its forms. Nah, nigga, they want that money. They want that whatever the legal form of currency is.
That's right.
And the new legal form of currency is gonna be that RFID chip, man.
That's right.
Right? That's why they cutting all these jobs off. That's why they making all these, they putting AI at the forefront. Right now, that's all fun and dandy. Everybody wants, we use ChatGPT for spiritual purposes, but mostly we use ChatGPT or the AKA the artificial IDU for playing around on it. Not realizing that shit is gathering information on you. Right? That's how I know how to talk to you and respond to you. right? They're gathering information on you, right? And then also too, they use AI to take over things that no longer need human hands and minds to do, right? And they ain't really worried about AI becoming what's it called, autonomous. Absolutely not. They got the keys to the system. They set it up, but they're getting you comfortable with it through what? Gradualism. Just like the payment systems, right? You're using a whole bunch. You're already using. Most people use tap to pay, right? Contactless payments. I see people in a store. They don't even have their wallet. They don't even pull their wallet out. They just got their cell phone.
Yep,
And they pay with their cell phone, bro. Or they use their debit cards and they just tap it. You don't even gotta put your PIN number in. Just tap it, or you good to go. You walk out the store, right? What's that going to transfer to their hand? Tap your hand, because you can lose your cell phone. Your cell phone can get stolen. It can get broken, right? It can lose. The battery could die. You can lose your credit cards, your debit cards. You can lose all that shit. It'll get what? It'll get stolen, compromised. You were just talking about that. Everybody's credit is fucked, shot, because all they shit is getting compromised. And that's done on purpose, bro. It ain't just some dirty ass East Indian wearing flip-flops and slacks in a fucking call center, bro. Or some dirty ass Nigerian eating fucking plantains and shit, playing in the dirt with your information. No. That shit is set up on a high level, man. Right? A system that they automatically corrupted. So now they're gonna say we got a better system. This one they can't nobody hack in. Can't nobody get into it. And it's a chip. Yep. And you ain't gonna be able to use FRNs, your credit card in that system. You're gonna have to have that chip. Right? And something's gonna happen. Right? Where the whole system is gonna be, and they want the system to be flipped over into it. Right? They're gonna collapse the dollars, right? Once it collapses dollars, all nations that have dollars on hand, they're buying U.S. treasuries and all that, treasury bonds and shit, they're gonna stall, but then they're gonna miraculously, just like they did in 2020, right? They had that shit right on deck, the QR codes. All of a sudden, none of these businesses we ever seen before. I'm like, yo, how did they must have sent them a mail or something. I don't fucking know. Something. All these businesses popped up with QR codes. Right up. All these businesses, they just had QR codes. All you got to do is just hit this QR code, and you can pull up the menu. And they still using that to this day. Yeah. We go to restaurants. One restaurant we like to go to, this is the right spot. They don't even have no paper menus no more. It's all QR codes. And that's remnants left over from the 2020 era. 5 years ago. How did they get that shit so quick? It was already set up. Right? It was already set up for them to use these things to get you to gradually fall in line into a new system being birthed right in front of your eyes, man. And they already got the chip. There's people that's already using the chip, but they're gonna put it on a mandatory basis. People like, that's chips here. They ain't making it use it. They making people use it because it said. No, that nigga Nate say that shit because he took a bag, bro. Right? That's why they allow him to gather so many followers, man. They allow this nigga to go march through all these fucking cities across the country, right? Without any hindrance. The cops don't pop them upside the head. They don't get no real trouble. Why is that? Because this nigga wants you to fall asleep while enriching himself. He's gonna be the new Louis Farrakhan, Nate Farrakhan. But it ain't gonna be